Welcome to the first lecture of Human Resource Management from Unit 5. The topic which I am going to cover in this lecture is employee relation, discipline, and grievance handling. Let us first understand what is employee relation. The basic purpose of an employee relation in human resource department is to maintain good working relationship between the employer and the employees, strengthening the employer-employee relationship. Employee relations versus labor relation. Employee relations specialists generally handle matters involving employees who are not members of a bargaining unit. Labor relations specialists are responsible for handling matters involving labor management issues such as union, contract negotiation, grievances, working stoppages, and strikes. Employee relations specialists manage performance management and employee recognition. Now, this is best example of employee relation where each of us in the employee, if holding hands together, can achieve the organization goals together. Employee relation and fair employment practices. Employee relations specialist has their primary role consisting of identifying and resolving workplace issues concerning complaints of discriminatory employment practices and unlawful harassment. Maintaining employee confidentiality is a responsibility of the employee relations specialist from the initial complaint filing to resolution. So, human resource staff members in this area usually receive extensive training on employment laws and dispute resolution. Together, we can achieve more. So, this is the best example that if the employees are joined together, holding tightly each other's hand, we can achieve the organization goals effectively and efficiently. Connections between the employee relations and human resources. Human resource department does well to have an employee relations specialist with the human resource manager and should be well versed in all fields of discipline. Employee relations specialists who are extremely proficient in every HR discipline can reasonably anticipate promotion to a human resource department. Elements of ERM, that is employee relationship management. Now these are the elements which can best practice about the increasing the relationship of employees in the organization. HR practices, communication, and then shared values and goals, trust among our employees, and leadership style. This creates a good and a healthy environment in the organization. Now let us understand what discipline is. Employee discipline. Employee discipline is the regulation and modulation of human activities to produce a controlled performance. It is to encourage its employee to conform established standard of job performance and to behave sensibly and safely at workplace. Employee conforms to the rules and regulations framed by the organization for an acceptable behavior. Richard D. Calhoun has described that discipline may be considered as a force that prompts individuals or groups to observe the rules, regulations, and procedures which are deemed to be necessary for the effective functioning of an organization. Now, main features of disciplines are: discipline is self-control, discipline is a negative approach, and discipline is punitive approach. Now, let us understand that how discipline is self-control. Now, it refers to one's effort as a self-control to confirm the organizational rules, regulations, and procedures which have been established to ensure the successful attainment of organizational goals. Now, this is the best example of self-discipline where the magic power that makes you virtually unstoppable to create an environment around you which is positive. It is a negative approach. Now, discipline encourages people to undertake some activities on one hand and restrains them from undertaking others on the other hand. Negative approach to discipline. Now, this is the best example of the negative approach to discipline where a teacher is scolding a child, and this behavior is negative approach towards handling a child in the classroom. It is a punitive approach. Discipline also imposes penalty or punishment if the rules and regulations framed by the organization are not obeyed or ignored by the members. Punishment is imposed not to change past behavior but to prevent its recurrence in future. Positive discipline. Now, this is the best example of positive discipline where teacher is turning back, then also the employee's behavior is not changed they are sitting idle as the teacher is in front of them. Objectives of discipline. Now let us understand what are the objectives of discipline. Motivate an employee to comply with the company's performance standards. Maintains respect and trust between the supervisor and employee. Improve the performance of the employee. Increase the morale and working efficiency of the employees. Foster industrial peace with the very foundation of industrial democracy. Now let us understand what grievances are. A grievance is a dissatisfaction or feeling or injustice having connection with one's employment situation which is brought to the attention of management. A grievance is any dissatisfaction that adversely affects the organizational relationship and the productivity. Michael Jusius has given the definition of grievance, that grievance is any discontentment or dissatisfaction, whether expressed or not, whether valid or not, arising out of anything connected with the company which an employee thinks, believes, or even feels to be unfair, unjust, and inequitable. Dissatisfaction is anything that disturbs an employee, whether or not the unrest is expressed in words. Complaint is a spoken or written dissatisfaction brought to the attention of the supervisor. Grievance is a complaint that has been formally presented to a management representative or to an union official. Effects of grievances. It creates an effect on production. A low quality production, low productivity, increase in the wastage of materials, spoilage, leakages of machinery, and increase in the cost of production per unit. On employees, increase in the rate of absenteeism and turnover, reduction in the level of commitment, sincerity, and punctuality, increase in the incidence of accidents, and reduction in the level of employee morale. On managers, strained superior subordinate relationship, increase in the degree of supervision and control, increase in indiscipline cases, increase in unrest and thereby machinery to maintain industrial peace. Best example of grievances are that the people are having grievances with each other and they are not expressing it, but they are feeling from inside and they are don't having a mutual understanding between them. Grievance handling. A grievance handling system serves as an outlet for employee frustration, discontents, and gripes like a pressure release valve on a steam boiler. Employees do not have to keep their frustrations bottled up until eventually discontent causes explosion. The existence of an effective grievance procedure reduces the need of arbitrary action by the supervisor. Employees make protests to be heard by the highest management. Employees have a right to be heard and are actually heard helps to improve the morale. Every organization should have a clear-cut procedure of grievance handling. Models of grievance procedure. National Commission of Labor has suggested a model of grievance procedure which would ensure a speedy settlement of grievance. The model comprises of 5 steps. Now let us look into all the steps. Step 1 is that the aggrieved employee shall convey his/her grievance verbally to the officer designated by the management. The officer will have a reply to the complaint within the 48 hours of its presentation to him. Step 2. It is that grievant is not satisfied then the answer or does not receive the answer within 48 hours, he or she shall present the grievance to the department head nominated for this purpose. The head must give his reply within 3 days of the presentation of the grievance. Now step 3. The aggrieved people is still not satisfied with the decision of the department head and does not receive within the stipulated period of time any reply, the employee can approach to the grievance committee who has to give its recommendation in 7 days and report the same to the management. Management must communicate the decision to the grievant within 3 days. Step 4. If still employee is not satisfied either with the decision made by the grievance committee or does not receive decision from the committee, he or she can make appeal to the management for revision. The management can take a week period for the appeal to be considered and revised decision is informed to the grievant. Now, fifth step is that if the employer is still not satisfied with the management decision, the grievance is referred to the voluntary arbitrator with a week time period. The decision is taken by the management at stage 4. So the decision of the arbitrator is the final binding of both the parties, that is the management and the union. So this is a diagrammatic view. If the aggrieved employee is giving his grievances to the department representative, he has to reply within 48 hours. Either he is able to reply or he is not giving the reply. If the grievant person is not satisfied, then he will move to the head of the department, which has to be give the reply within 3 days. If he is fails to give the reply within the 3 days or the aggrieved person is not satisfied, then he will again move to the grievance committee, which has to present the in 7 days he have to present his reply. And therefore if again the grievance committee is doesn't fail to give the reply, or the person itself is able to apply to the chief executive, where the chief executive has to reply within the 7 days. And if it is also failed to give the reply or the aggrieved person is not satisfied by the suggestion, then he is moving to voluntary arbitrator. Now the voluntary arbitrator will be giving the final decision, which both the management and the employee has to obey and follow the decision made by the voluntary arbitrator. This is the process of employee grievance settlement, and it is the best way to handle the grievance in the organization. This comes to the end of this lecture. Thanks and have a nice time.